we've got a very, very long, difficult road ahead of us. This is a massive, massive undertaking, because this was a disaster of proportions it's even difficult to imagine in Hollywood. And there are going to be cases, there are going to be issues and crises that can't be solved easily. But we're going to continue to work as hard as we know how to bring Tuscaloosa back.
And that was Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox in the days after April 27, 2011. Brings back some memories, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was just looking at that, I looked very tired then for obvious reasons. And I don't think any of us knew at the time just how hard the recovery would be. But like Tuscaloosa always does, we rose to the occasion and we were able to succeed. Sure
did. And when you think back about April 27, 2011, a decade ago, what's top of mind for you? What's the first thing you think of?
Well, I mean, certainly sadness about the loss of life, the considerable loss of life, the loss of businesses, you know, even the loss of peace of mind. And then secondarily to that, I think about how we were never alone. This community stepped up in ways. I mean, even after the tornado itself, it was our community members that triaged the injured, that searched for the missing, that removed debris so we could get rescue units into places of our city. So those two things are the immediate things that come to my mind when I think back to April 27th.
And there wasn't really, prior to April 27th, there really wasn't a model. There was no real precedent for something like this happening to a city like Tuscaloosa.
No, and what really, you know, stuck out to me about April 27th is we had the tornado on April 15th, and that was considered a major tornado where you had 200 homes impacted. In this case, you had 5,300 structures, 12.5% of your city destroyed. 1,200 injured, 53 fatalities. I mean, 7,000 unemployed within 6 minutes. It was catastrophic on every type of humanitarian scale you can imagine. And so for all of us, we certainly had a response plan, but nothing could consider the magnitude of what we saw on that day.
Since that day, you know, here we are 10 years later. Are you pleased with how the city has come back? I know the plan was to come back better and stronger. Do you think we've done that?
Oh, no doubt. We pledged from really day one that we would build back in a way that honored all those that lost so much. And I believe we've done that. We've controlled what we could control. And the thing that I'm most proud of is we took the long view. You know, early on we took some criticism, but we did it the right way. We made certain that we planned it well. We built back with better materials, better standards, and we also made certain that infrastructure became part of our overall plan. And since that time, we've seen over $1 billion of investment into the recovery zone itself.
And we've also changed a lot. There are a lot of city policies that are much different than they were pre-April 27th, 2011. We do things differently these days when we know there's a big one coming.
Absolutely. In terms of disaster management, I mean, for us, one of the things we do now that seems so self-evident, we disperse our assets. You know, we lost 85% of our heavy equipment that day, 17% of our police assets, a fire station. You know, we lost so much internally that just how we operate in terms when we have severe weather has changed. But also, too, I think one of the things I think we gained out of that was the strength and resilience of this community to overcome any challenge. And I don't think that will ever leave us. April 27th showed us we could take on any challenge here in Tuscaloosa.
So you think it unified our community as we look forward to the next 10 years?
I think it did, and I think it also really gave us strength to know we would get through COVID-19 as well. When you've gone through a challenge like April 27th, which is unprecedented, most communities will never have to face this, and we did it, and we succeeded, I think it demonstrates we can do anything.
Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox, we appreciate so much you taking the time to sit down and talk with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.